Once upon a time, in a town not too far from where Jesus often taught, there was a widow who had recently lost her husband. She was alone now, and afraid because her husband had been their only source of income. They had no children, so she had no one to help her, no one to care for her in her old age. Then she remembered she had one final option, one last hope. She could take her case to the local judge, but he was known throughout the town for being unfair and unjust. Everyone knew he was corrupt, dishonest, and selfish, caring about nothing more than money and power. Still, it was her only chance. So this poor widow washed herself and put on her finest clothes. Then she went to the judge's house. She knocked on his door again and again, but no one would answer. After a while, she finally got his attention. As soon as he opened the door, just a crack, she began to beg him to listen to her case, to hear her story, and to help her get the justice that she deserved. But the judge was mean and cruel. He yelled at her and slammed the door in her face. Again and again, the widow returned. She knocked on the door, sometimes crying out for help, sometimes pleading for mercy. But the judge only yelled louder, threatening to have her put in jail if she ever came near his house again. Finally, after the widow had been turned away hundreds of times, the judge had had enough, called out, "Look, I'll do what you ask. Just leave me alone." And so he helped the widow, giving her what she had asked for. And that's when Jesus used this story to teach his disciples a very important lesson about prayer. Do you want to hear it? Well, then let's continue. One day, Jesus told his disciples a story about a judge who was unafraid of God or respected by people. And he said, in the same way, there was a widow in a city who often came to him and pleaded for help. For a long time, he refused. But finally, he said to himself, I might not fear God or care what people think, but because this widow keeps bothering me, I will give her justice, or else she won't stop coming. After Jesus finished the story, he explained what it meant. Listen, whenever someone comes before God and prays, God listens and will respond. And I promise, this God will give justice to those who persist in asking. But the disciples weren't so sure about that. They argued back, saying, well, Jesus, we might believe that you tell the truth. But even the stubborn and evil judge finally gave in to this widow's request. So how much more will God answer the prayers of his chosen people when they cry out day and night? Yes, he will certainly answer them quickly. Then Jesus added this, and I tell you this, it will happen quickly, but only for those who believe. See, sometimes the answers don't come right away. Sometimes the wait feels long. But Jesus says don't lose heart. Keep praying. Keep trusting, because God is listening, and he is faithful to respond in his perfect time. So don't give up. And be like the persistent widow. Keep knocking. Keep believing. And know this, your prayers matter more than you think. Thanks for watching. If this story encouraged your heart, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more faith-filled parables and Bible stories. And remember, God hears every prayer, even the quiet ones. Until next time, pray boldly. Never lose heart.